She was 51 years old, and she was furious. Not at me, at herself. At the money. At the years. Margaret had spent 3 years taking collagen supplements, powders, capsules, expensive blends with beautiful packaging, and even more beautiful promises. Every morning, religiously, into her smoothie. Every month, another order. And yet when she sat in my examination room and held up her hands, the skin on the back of them had continued to thin. Her nails continued to split. The ache in her knees, that had started at 48, had not improved. It had quietly gotten worse. "Dr. Miles," she said, "I did everything right. Why isn't it working?" That question changed this conversation I'm about to have with you. Because the answer Margaret needed, the one that finally worked, did not come from a new supplement. It came from understanding something the supplement industry will never put on a label. My name is Dr. Miles. 13 years in emergency medicine taught me one thing above everything else. Your body has been trying to warn you. Most people just don't know how to listen. And today, most people do not know how to feed it. What I am about to show you is not a trend. It is not a product. It is the way human beings supported their collagen for 10,000 years, before the powders, before the capsules, before the industry was built on selling you a shadow of the real thing. Before we go any further, stop and subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that bell and turn on every notification. I am not asking for a favor. I am telling you that what gets discussed on this channel, the real clinical conversations, the ones that don't fit inside a 15-minute doctor's appointment, the ones the supplement marketing budget actively works to bury, you cannot afford to miss them. Subscribe now. Then let us get into this. Here is the thing nobody in the collagen industry wants you to understand. The collagen molecule is large. When you swallow it in powder form, your digestive system breaks it down into individual amino acids, the same amino acids you could get from any quality protein source. The peptides that make it into your bloodstream are fragments. Useful fragments, yes, but fragments. You are buying a disassembled structure and hoping your body rebuilds it correctly. Real collagen food does something completely different. It delivers collagen in its natural matrix, surrounded by the cofactors, the amino acid ratios, the glycine and proline concentrations that your body recognizes as building material, rather than raw ingredient. The difference is not small. It is the difference between handing a carpenter a pile of sawdust and handing them a plank of wood. 3 foods. Unglamorous, underrated, and so nutritionally dense that once you understand what they contain, spending money on collagen supplements will feel like paying for the echo of something you could have had for a fraction of the cost. Number 1, beef tendon. Most people walk past it at the butcher. Those who notice it assume it is waste, too tough, too unfamiliar, too pale and strange to be food worth eating. That misunderstanding is one of the most expensive nutritional mistakes a person can make. Beef tendon is not muscle meat. It is connective tissue, the biological structure that holds muscle to bone. And nutritionally, that distinction matters enormously. A 3-ounce serving of cooked beef tendon contains 32 grams of protein and just 1 gram of fat. No carbohydrates. 131 calories. But the number that stopped me when I first read the research, approximately 95% of that protein is type 1 collagen. The exact form your body uses to build the framework of your skin, your hair, your nails, your gut lining, and your joint capsules. You are not supplementing collagen. You are eating it in its most concentrated, structurally intact form. Beyond that, beef tendon naturally contains glycine and proline in the ratios your collagen synthesis pathway requires, not added in, not sprayed on during manufacturing, but present, because this is what connective tissue is made of. It also contains glucosamine, the same compound sold in joint supplement bottles, in its original food-based form, surrounded by the cofactors that help your body actually absorb and use it. Here's the part that surprises people most. Beef tendon is not difficult to prepare. It requires time, not skill. Rinse thoroughly under cold water. Blanch in boiling water for 10 to 15 minutes. This removes impurities and dramatically improves the final flavor. Discard that water completely. Then, return the tendon to fresh water and cook it low and slow. 90 minutes in a pressure cooker, 8 to 10 hours in a slow cooker, 4 to 6 hours on the stovetop at the gentlest possible simmer. Chill overnight in the cooking liquid. The next day, you will find it slices cleanly into pieces that go into soups, stews, stir fries, or an air fryer. And never discard the cooking liquid. Chilled overnight, it sets into a thick, firm gel. That gel is concentrated collagen that costs you nothing extra. Use it as a soup base. Freeze it in portions. Every time you use it, you are quietly rebuilding from the inside. Number 2, chicken feet. I want to be direct with you about something. Early in my career, I dismissed chicken feet. Not clinically, I knew what they contained. But personally, I never ate them. I was trained in the same food culture as most of you. They looked unfamiliar. They felt like something that belonged in a different era of cooking. That was a mistake I corrected about 6 years ago. And my joints, which had begun to remind me of their existence after long shifts on the emergency floor, noticed within weeks. Chicken feet are made almost entirely of skin, cartilage, tendons, and connective tissue. That is not a limitation. That is the entire point. They are rich in type 2 collagen, the form most closely associated with cartilage, health, and joint cushioning. If your knees, hips, or fingers have begun announcing themselves in ways they did not 5 years ago, this is the collagen your body is asking for. They also naturally contain chondroitin, paired in supplements with glucosamine, at significant cost, and provide calcium and phosphorus in a food-based form that absorbs gently and completely. And they cost almost nothing. In most markets, they are among the cheapest animal proteins available. Preparation removes every barrier. Rinse thoroughly. Snip off the claw tips with kitchen shears, blanch in water with ginger or a splash of vinegar for 5 to 7 minutes to neutralize any residual odor. Drain and rinse. Then cook in fresh liquid 25 to 30 minutes in a pressure cooker or 1.5 to 2 hours at a gentle simmer on the stovetop. Here is the gift most people never discover. Drop 2 or 3 cleaned, blanched chicken feet into any soup or ramen broth as it cooks. You may not notice them, but you will notice the broth. It becomes glossy, rich. It coats the back of a spoon in a way that box stock never will. That is collagen releasing into your liquid. That is your joints drinking what they actually need. Send this video to someone in your life whose knees have been bothering them for years. Someone who has been told it is just age, just wear and tear, just something to manage, because this is what they have not been told. Number 3, bone broth, made the traditional way. Long before collagen had a price tag, there was always a pot simmering somewhere. Every culture that maintained physical resilience into old age, strong joints, clear skin, dense bones had this in common. Not a supplement protocol, a pot. Bones, connective tissue, time, and low heat. Bone broth is not a trend. It is what human beings drank for 10,000 years when they understood instinctively that nothing in an animal should be wasted. Here is what that slow simmer actually extracts. Collagen breaks down into gelatin and small peptides and forms. Your digestive system absorbs with almost no effort. Glycine present in concentrations that support your gut lining, regulate your blood sugar, promote deeper sleep, and assist your liver's detoxification pathways. Calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and potassium, arriving not in isolation, but packaged with gelatin and amino acids that guide them to where your body needs them most. Real bone broth and box stock are not the same product. One nourishes, the other flavors. The difference is visible. A properly made bone broth sets firm in the refrigerator overnight. It wobbles. It holds its shape. That jiggle is your confirmation. That is gelatin. That is collagen. That is what you made. The method is simple, but unforgiving on shortcuts. Use a combination of marrow bones for mineral depth, knuckle and joint bones for gelatin, and chicken feet if you have them. They contribute more gel power per gram than any other addition. Blanch all bones first in boiling water for 10 minutes. Discard that water. Start fresh. Add cold water. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, not for flavor, but to draw minerals from the bone matrix and bring to the gentlest possible simmer. Not boiling, barely moving. Chicken broth needs 12 to 24 hours. Beef broth needs 24 to 48. When it chills and sets firm, you have done it correctly. Sip it warm in the morning with sea salt. Use it to cook rice, lentils, or quinoa. Build every soup and stew from it. This is not a supplement you add to your routine. This is a foundation you build your nutrition on top of. Margaret came back 4 months after our conversation. She had stopped the powders. She had started the broth, the tendon, the chicken feet, slowly, one at a time, in the way that fits a real life with a real schedule. She held up her hands again. The skin feels different, she said. Not dramatically, but different. That is how real nutrition works. Not a before and after photograph. A quiet, cellular rebuilding that happens beneath the surface, the way your body has always been designed to work, when you give it what it actually recognizes as food. You are not someone who didn't know. You are now someone who does. And that changes what you put in your body starting today. If this gave you something real, subscribe to this channel right now. Every Video Doctor. Miles Releases is built on one standard: the clinical truth, clearly explained, without a supplement company paying for the message. Hit subscribe. Share this with someone still spending money on collagen powders. And tell me in the comments, which of these three will you try first? I read every single one. I am Dr. Miles. Your body knows how to rebuild itself. Give it the right materials. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.